for this opportunity. Last time we were here, and I would like to request the team to play just a small clip on the presentation on wellness by Mukami.
Opened with renewed energy as Evangelii Mukami and Anastasia Muova led an inspiring session on thriving at work, the power of employee wellness in driving performance and motivation.
That when someone thinks of taking their lives, they either attempt or they are successful. And unfortunately, men don't attempt. When men plan, they finish. Most of the time, women will say, like, I grew up, my mother taking her life. She's still alive. She used to say, I'm dying, I will kill myself. But today but the few men who said that they will take their lives, it's been calculated. They may not even talk most of the time. We will just be able to pick from the pieces. One of our clients used to say, where will go and never come back, the drugs. So, still yet we do not have any law in place to be able to support this, but we are saying let's humanize workplaces. Because even without a law, there are policies within the places, within our workplaces, that we can be able to extend some humaneness to our colleagues. One, addiction. If you see someone who drinks and comes to work drunk, there are some of the early signs or signs of addiction. And addiction.
The plenary session focused.
Because as HR, we deal with people. And people are not easy. Yeah? People are complicated. You do anything, they will not appreciate. And sometimes HR are actually burdened with that feeling of, does anyone appreciate what I do? Have you felt that? Do you feel that? Is that our pain? Is it my pain alone or all of us? That's HR for you. But we have an opportunity to create what we call psychological safety in our workplace for our employees. Many a times we want to condemn them. We want to feel like they're a burden. But do you know what? These are human beings with feelings, with families, with burdens, with situations that are sometimes too difficult for them to carry. And they come to the workplace with all that. Everything. Yeah? Be it a marriage that's not working, a child that's delinquent, a husband that is alcoholic, a brother that is wayward, a father who is not supporting them, an economic and a financial situation that they are facing, a grief that is in the family, yeah, or a disagreement where even family members don't talk to each other. These are your people who come to work. They bring the whole self to the workplace. How do you create that environment that despite all that load and burdens, these people can still deliver for you? These people can still give meaning to the work that they do. How do we do it as HR? So that our workplaces become the places where employees can come from 8 to 5 feeling happy, energetic, and feeling like they want to give their whole. How do we do that? So this is what we are attempting to do. And we realize that all those burdens, we can actually ease in them. And we were very, very mesmerized when we listened to Mukami. So we want to listen to Mukami to just talk a bit about wellness so that we share our Kengen story. And she was going on to tell us about a situation where in an organization, there's a guy who told his colleagues, you might not, he didn't say you might not see me, but he says, it may take a long time for us to meet. And people just laughed about it, and they thought it was a joke, and they brushed it off. He went to his office on 11th floor and jumped out of the window. And the colleagues never forgave themselves, because they thought if we had taken it seriously, then we would have stopped that act. So they lived with guilt, because they didn't get that cues that this person was burdened. Okay, so as you put up our presentation, I have a team here. You know, Simon talked about succession planning, and my able panelists, I think there's someone who talked about succession planning. Yeah? Yes. And she talked about succession planning and management. So that's what I'm doing. I've been in Kengen for 28 years. So the door of exit is very close. It's closer than where I entered from. So these men and women, these gentlemen, are the ones who are taking this, and they are very good, by the way. I'm so proud of my team in HR. Well done, team. So I want to give them time to introduce themselves, and then we will co-present this presentation together.
Good morning. God is good, and all the time. Waambaje. Si tuliambiwa jana. Okay. My name is Michael Rotich from Kengen, HR, in charge of payroll. I'm the assistant manager in Kengen. Karibuni.
Okay. Good morning. My name is CHRP Daniel Mwendandu, assistant manager in charge of Eastern region of Kengen. Karibuni sana.
Good morning, team. My name is Ruth Kimeli in HR, representing Eastern region. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is CHRP CPA Lalinalo. I work as a senior officer, HR in geothermal.
I'm also CHRP.
Where's Purity? She's coming, okay. So I think we'll give our story. After we listened to Mukami, what did we do? Okay, so this is about Kengen. We are 72 years old, so we are an old man, if we are a person. Kengen is 72, founded in 1954. It changed its name in 1998 when I joined the company. We own over 30 power plants. We have 60% of the market share, and we have an installed capacity of 1,886 megawatts, the power that you see here. Yeah? We have 70% government-owned, 30% private. And our mission is to be the market leader in the provision of renewable energy solutions. And we deliver competitively priced electricity to the region by leveraging our highly skilled talent, engaging closely with stakeholders, employing efficient processes, and utilizing modern technology. Go back. The reason why I'm reading this is we were present when we were doing the mission. HR, yeah? Are you seeing highly skilled talent? We had to make sure that we put there. Because if you don't put there, HR is relegated to the uko nyuma. Sawa? So I'm reading this carefully because we had to be on the table so that any board member coming in, I always, when I present, I tell them, highly skilled talent is what you come to do in this company. So that we start the conversation. Remember yesterday's? So we start the conversation there. Proceed. So we are going to do about purpose-driven employee engagement because HR plays a central role in workforce transformation. Engagement drives innovation, resilience, and performance, and HR need to support employee wellness and mental health at the workplace. So why does it matter? Employees is increasingly seeking meaning and impact in their work. So purpose improves retention, ownership, and collaboration. High purpose organizations often outperform peers. And in critical sectors like the energy, purpose strengthens national impact. And employees need to know that their organization supports them, which in turn increases productivity. This is very key, because when the employees know that you support them, then they become productive. And during COVID, we supported our employees and were very productive. So in Kengen, we connect employees to the national purpose. So the daily work they do, it connects to the reliable power. So everyone in Kengen knows if they don't come to work to generate power, it means a patient in hospital will not be supported during their operation. So it impacts very directly to the nation. And so at least we know that the economic development of this country is driven by energy. So it leads to economic growth, which in turn leads to national transformation. So Kenyan employees contribute to Kenya's industrial agenda, climate action and sustainability, and improved healthcare and education outcomes. And then we are also the leaders in the region, although we are facing a lot of competition now. Tanzania, Uganda, Ethiopia are coming up, and we really need to push to generate more. So employees' wellness and mental health at Kengen. So to achieve the national purpose, employees need to be in the right frame of mind, mental wellness and employee well-being. This is very key, because we realize if are not in the right frame of mind, they cannot be productive. So as Kenya's leading power generator with operations in geothermal, hydro, wind, and thermal plants, employees face unique wellness challenges. And you have heard the introduction. Lali is in Olkaria. Power in Olkaria is produced geothermal by the geothermal energy. So we operate in very remote areas. We have drilling operations. We drill 3,000 meters, that's 3 kilometers down, and horizontally 2 kilometers. This is done in a very risky situation, because employees work in confined areas. They even live there. They don't meet their families. They work in a shift system. And then this other team in hydros and Apatana, we produce power using hydro. So in those machines, employees work on a shift system. And those are based in very remote areas. So where you find families are actually separated, because we do not have enough housing to house all of them, and also for them to bring their their families. And then there are no schools, so they cannot bring their children to live with them. So what do? What do you see? You see men and women who are isolated from their families, and especially the men. So you need to take care of their mental health because of the stress that they face. So the physical demanding field work. We have a shift system, which I talked about. And I said employees work far away from their families. We also have remote rural site location like Takwel. Takwel is a place where there's insecurity, and there was a time we lost some employees just through gunshots. So people are afraid, and those are the same people that you want to make them productive in your organization. And then we also have occupational safety risks. You know, electricity is unsafe if you don't handle it well. And also there's mental strain from high stakes in energy production, because if we miss something, you people may not feel us until something happens and the whole country is plunged into darkness. Then you wonder what happened. Kumbe, it is that one person that you didn't handle well who went and did something in a machine and something happened. So we are aware of our importance in the nation. So we normally have how do you feel sessions in the morning, what is called thermometer, which which we have taught the supervisors to administer to employees, so that every morning people feel they are accepted with how they show up at the workplace. Yeah, so the green says, I'm happy and calm. The blue is worried, nervous, scared, uncomfortable. I'm sad and lonely. You know, that last one, I'm furious or overwhelmed. I'm upset. I'm heating up. I'm ready to explode. I'm frustrated or annoyed. This is hard, but I'm in control. You know, so people tick that so that we have what we call healthy checks in the mornings or afternoons. So employee wellness and mental wellness at Kengen, we have, Kengen recognizes that workforce mental health is crucial to the organizational operation, which directly creates employee productivity. And it has therefore implemented several initiatives to support employees' mental health, such as mental health talks, workshops, and with employees and their dependents. So we do surveys. We have employee assistance programs, that is counseling and trauma support. We also have physical wellness programs and wellness days. We have subsidized gym services, regular health screening, and so forth. So we also have financial wellness, workshops on debt management, retirement planning, and financial literacy. We realized that with introduction of SHA, housing levy, all those things, the money was taken away from the pay slips of employees. They can hardly have money for food. So what did we do? We talked to the SACCO, which is our main, where our employees go, and we told them, can you restructure their loans so that at least they remain with something in their pay slips? Then what we also did is that we brought in financial wellness experts to train them on how to plan the money that they have to meet their costs. You know, delay other things, delay other projects, so that you can survive, you know, as you adjust yourself to the new situation, which was from outside. Because you cannot always increase the salaries. And if we are increasing the salaries, it's not at the rate at which SHA and SHE and all these things are taking away. And the cost of living is also high. So we got experts who talked to them, they did their financial planning, and we have testimonies of employees actually saying that that helped them to, you know, plan their lives better. So then we have HR business partnerships, clinics, and so these HR people support this initiative in the areas. Okay, so to improve employee wellness, Kengen held a mental health workshop. So before I talk about the workshop, let me go to Mukami. So when we listened to Mukami here, she talked about a product she has where she talks to people and supports them psychologically to adjust and to remove the burdens that they carry. So having listened to her here, we discussed with her and we partnered with her. And so we held health workshops across the 5 business areas, and we engaged over 1,000 employees in the well-being program. So 87% of participants reported enhanced stress management capability. So we isolated the men, the women, so that the men can open up. And I was actually happily surprised that the men opened up to her. I think she has a way of engaging the men. And we realized that the men, especially, and I'm stressing that because 70% of my staff are male. So I'm really, really focused. Not that I've forgotten the ladies, but I'm really focused on them because if 70% of your staff is not healthy, then what are you saying? You cannot be productive. So they were able to open up to Mukami, and they actually poured out their issues. And with that, we got the in-house counselor, and we partnered with other panel of our counselors. And we attached now counselors to every area who they can go in confidentially and advance the discussion. If it's a marital issue, if it's financial, a burden, anything that is not okay with them, they were able to talk to our counselors. So we have in-house counselors Actually, we have one in-house counselor, but we have a big panel of counselors that are at hand to support them. And then their numbers were shared so that it's confidential. We don't share confidential information in our reports. So we just the highlights of what the issue is. Is it alcohol related? It is work related? Is it anything? But we don't give the details. But we realized that a lot of the men, especially those in very remote areas, were struggling with alcoholism. We had cases of relapse where we had taken them to rehabs, but they relapsed again. And so we saw that there was nobody to work with them, with their families, to support them to recover well. So we gave them that support. And 92% affirming organization commitment to well-being. The program has achieved immediate behavioral impact while establishing infrastructure for long-term cultural transformation. One of them said, for the first time, I felt safe to talk about my struggles at work. That's one of the participants who said, because they could not. And then we talked about the supervisors. We arranged meetings with the supervisors so that they can create what we call a psychological safety within where they supervise the employees. If a staff is struggling with, say, absenteeism, then we empower the supervisor to actually listen to them first before the show cause letter and all those things that sometimes we condemn our staff. And that has actually improved because the alcoholism rate dropped and the performance has gone up. In our engagement with the staff, in terms of identifying the stressors, we found that operational workload pressures were one of the causes. There was also family responsibility conflicts, financial security concerns, organizations. Those are the three main areas that we found as the cause of their issues. And so we leveraged on existing peer support willingness because we created peer champions and trained them so that they can also be able to go to someone that is close to them and talk to them so that they are not alone. And then also we had a culture of openness and dialogue. And then we trained the leadership to be more conscious, to be more human, and to be more empathetic. I think so impact of the health awareness, mental wellness workshops, is 7% enhanced confidence in stress management, 92% recognition of organizational commitment, 76% active demand for sustained counseling services. And so we saw stigma reduction in mental health discussions. We also had peer support normalization and proactive techniques outside workshop settings. There's an emerging issue of mental wellness where staff get overwhelmed. We have some people that they cannot cope. And there are new emerging diseases that we did not know when we were growing up, HTAD, bipolar, all those things. I mean, you have supported this person, but they want to commit suicide, and you wonder why. And so we are struggling with that, and even our policy is trying to. The gap, though, is how do you discharge an employee in that if you have supported him enough and they are not able to work? Are you going to support the staff forever? That is where now the discussion is at. So we're also looking at a situation where if we cannot support a staff, then how do we separate in a good way? Yeah? Because, people with mental illness is a very difficult thing to manage. Today they're happy, tomorrow they are not, and it becomes very difficult to do that. I think let me skip this because of time. Go to the next one. So continuous employee wellness initiatives have positioned Kengen as a regional leader in Africa. So Kengen has therefore transitioned from awareness to action, establishing mental health as a strategic organization capability. Yeah, so impact to Kengen operations. So I want to give Mike to continue from there.
This is a focus. This guy called Marty is a voice over guy that normally imitates the best voices in the world, like President Obama and Trump. So what he said is he studied athletes, and he looked at all the athletes and said, what makes them succeed? So he looked at 3 areas, and he was looking at time, energy, and focus. That is what athletes have. So when you look at time, he said, with the time that athletes are planning, they normally have what we call time blocking. You block time, let's say in the morning, you do the practice, or in the evening. So that is time blocking, so it also applies to us. You also do time tracking. Whenever they are doing practice, they normally run. When they run, they time. They started at this time, they covered this number of kilometers within this time. So they keep improving from there. When it comes to planning, they also plan. What do I do? When I'm not running, what do I do to make myself healthy? They also do what we call time batching. When you do batching, you set activities that are related, then you do within a time. So that you're saying in the morning, I'm going to do the following activities. This activity 1 is 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so you allocate the time for those activities. And then they also do prioritization, where you have so many competing interests, but what you do, which one is the best, and then you do it, and then later you can go to the rest. On energy, he said athletes sleep well. If you are not sleeping for 7+ hours, just know that you're killing yourself slowly and your productivity is going down. So you must do 7 hours and more. If you can do 10, the better. And then nature, from like in this town, make sure you go to the beach or forest and then just enjoy the nature and all that. And then exercise, of course, exercise is well said, nutrition, watch what you eat, and hydration. That's what athletes are doing. And then finally, the focus. So on focus, they do meditation. They also do breath work, where you just breathe in and out. They also do mindfulness. They study to get more insights into many other aspects. They single tasking. Do one task at a time. You don't multitask most of the time. And then Zen environment. Zen environment is where you have things that you can, let's say activities that makes you tick, that makes you meditate. Yeah, so you create an environment for yourself that is not general to everybody. That is under focus. So finally he said, if you just concentrate on time and energy, you get inefficiency. But if you concentrate on energy and then focus without time, you are exhausted. And if you concentrate on time, focus without energy, you are ineffective. So the best thing is to mix all the 3 together, and then the employee will be productive. So I want to invite our youngest colleague, less than 30. Clap for her as she comes.
I'll take you through what focusing on mental wellness has done for us as Kengen. So the impact to our operations, of course, we have a strategy which we have made sure that all our employees know this is where we are headed, this is what the government and the people expect from us, this is how you tie into that strategy. So if they are not in the right frame of mind, of course, they will not help you achieve that strategy. So mental wellness for us is one of the strategic HR interventions that we have in Kengen to help us achieve our G2G 2034 strategy, as well as our sustainability goals, including decent work, and to be able to also have return on our investments, because you've invested in these employees, you pay them well, you have given them benefits, and you have all these installations that you need to see return from. So if they're in the right frame of mind, then you find that there's less absenteeism, there is higher productivity, yeah, and better retention. So you don't get too many people thinking the organization does not care for me, and so they leave. And because you have employees that turn up for work every day, committed to fulfilling their strategy. There's nothing disturbing them at the back of their minds. They know even if I'm working in Turkwell, I'm safe. Even if I'm working in Olkaria and I'm living there in the park, that my family is well taken care of. I mean, you've provided medical benefits such that if the child is unwell, the parent does not have to rush to maybe lives in Eldoret or Makueni. They don't have to rush there to take care of the child. So they are focused on their work, which in turn leads to increased energy generation and of course improved energy stability for industries, which means the nation gets reliable services. And so the lessons that we can take away as HR leaders is that mental wellness is no longer is a strategic business issue. We can't sweep it under the rug anymore. This affects us, and if you listen to your peers when you attend all these conferences and all, you find the problem mostly nowadays is dealing with Gen Zs, you know. And initially when they came into the workforce, we could not understand how they are thinking. So when they would say mental health, you would probably say, they are too young, hawataki kazi. But over time, it has continued to manifest, not even in Gen Zs alone, but even for older employees. And so that means it has to take center stage. So it is a strategic business issue. It's not medical, it's not personal, because it directly affects productivity of our employees and engagement and turnover, yeah, and the culture as well. So especially for us, who our employees work in high-risk environment. And that's why we have decided to take mental well-being of the employees very, very seriously. And so leaders shape workplace mental health. So train managers to become human. Yeah, because, you know, like us, we have a lot of engineers and scientists. So they are very good with machines. So you find them managing people like machines. And so at the end of it all, you get exhausted employees, demoralized, demotivated, and all these mental wellness issues start to come in. So as HR leaders, you need to train your managers to recognize burnout, have supportive conversations, reduce toxic supervision practices, not someone coming to tell you, my child is unwell today, and you're thinking the machine needs to run. So you need to become human, a bit more human. I mean, they work in a team. You can find someone to take over that job so that this employee can be able to go and take care of their child for the day, because it's not an everyday affair. And so they also need to encourage psychological safety. Another lesson for HR leaders, for employees that work in remote areas, oftentimes you find they need extra support because this person is working daily, maybe from 8 to 8 p.m., very far away from their families. And then you find these issues of shisha and housing levy are affecting them, yeah? So we need to prioritize things like telecounseling, because there's no access, like in Olkaria where I work, you don't find daily access to maybe psychologists. So there's like our in-house counselor is always available on call, and she also directs employees to where else they can find support. And the panel, in our medical panel, we also have a lot of psychologists who can help the employees. So we encourage telecounseling, where someone can just pick up the phone, call, and talk to a therapist. We also have wellness checks, peer support systems, family support initiatives, and rest and recovery policies. Another lesson, prevention is better than crisis management. So we can focus on wellness education, early stress detection, workload monitoring, surveys, resilience training, regular wellness assessments. And so the outcome, of course, improved efficiency operationally, or enhanced organizational resilience, higher employee commitment, and better innovation and collaboration. And of course, translates to the nation as energy security, renewable growth, and economic transformation. And so it's not supposed to operate as a one-day event, in conclusion, or at an annual wellness day. It should be integrated into all our practices. And then you can think about the wellness wheel as we finish. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lali and Mike. I know time is far gone. Over and above that, we also have groups. We have Pink Energy, which is for the women. It's a forum we support that they can talk about their issues. We also started what we call Blue Power. This is for men, and we normally take them out for Nyama Choma. So the one day, not every day, but okay, once or twice in a year, they go out, what we are calling men's cave, and they go and eat Nyama Choma and talk. And our MD is their patron, so once in a while the MD joins them in Nyama Choma, and they can talk their issues there. So they stay the whole night, or throughout almost the night up to 1 a.m., talking male issues. And then for the women, we have speakers who talk to them about parenting. So, and these are online, by the way. You might be thinking these are very expensive interventions. They're once in a while physical, maybe twice or 3 times in a year, but most of them we do online. So we have those speakers that speak to our people online. So that's why we are able to gather many. So, and there are many others, of course, workplace safety, lactation rooms, and all those other interventions. So yeah, I want to bring this to a close. I know Lali mentioned G2G strategy, and one thing, government to government. No, we have our strategy called good to great. Good to great. So G2G for us means good to great. I wanted to just let you know that. Yeah, so as I conclude, I just want to give the ones who kept quiet to say one word about what they do.
Okay, our experience at the regions has been well when it comes to wellness. A lot of interventions that have just been mentioned, but the best one, which has really worked for men, is the one which has been mentioned, called Blue Energy, where now the men come together, discuss their issues, do some kind of mentorship to the young men. And this really has worked very well, and we have discovered good results. In addition to the Pink Energy, which has just been mentioned, and also we have a forum called YGen. This is for young men or young staff between up to 35 years. So their issues are also unique in a way. So they also discuss their issues. We also find them mentors who come to speak to them on financial issues, things to do their career, and the parenting issues. So these forums have really worked very well when it comes to wellness with our staff, and we have seen a big impact on their wellness. Thank you.
I think it has been well said. What our GM actually has elaborated, it is true, it is being done in all our regions. In fact, for me in my station, I normally have the group of wellness. I'm a wellness champion who supports the group, be it Pink Energy, the YGen, even the beginner, we have the categories from 45 and above, below, and then now the YGen. So we support all the group at all levels, even the attachment and the intern students also. We have the category to support them in all capacities. So actually we have tried to manage all the categories in our all areas, and it cuts across. And actually it has yielded the results, and even the productivity that we have talked about, actually we have seen the results. And I hope team, you have learned something from our organization, and we are going to move like create to create. We will learn also from you people that we will pick something like this one now. It was being picked from the previous forum, and now we have seen the milestone. And I hope even now we will pick something and go and implement. When we come for another forum, we will also have a presentation. Thank you.